Students, in this class we are going to discuss about importance of pH in daily life. Importance of pH in daily life. How this pH has got a lot of importance in our daily life. First one, pH in our digestive system. pH in our digestive system. See, what is this pH in our digestive system here? See, already you know certain acids are secreted. Example, dilute HCl. This is secreted in the intestine. So here in our stomach, this HCl is released in the regular intervals of time. See, actually, if proper pH value of dilute HCl, it should be 1.4. How much pH dilute HCl? Whatever the acid released in our stomach, that should maintain a pH value of 1.4. And this dilute HCl helps us in digesting our food. So very strong acid, you know. 1.4 pH means you can think even razor blade also melts in at this with the help of this acid. Even razor blade also gets melted because of this. So dilute HCl helps us in digesting our food. So suppose sometimes for some people excess dilute HCl is released, right? So overeating, the main habit is overeating and irregular eating habits. What happens if you don't eat in a regular interval of time? If you eat overeating, some people will have overeating habit. So for them excess dilute HCl will be released, and this excess dilute HCl cause indigestion problem. Indigestion. Suppose if the pH value changes, definitely it produces pain and irritation. So at that during that time, what we have to do? We take the help of antacids. So what is an antacid? These substances, they are nothing but they have got basic in nature. They are bases. Antacids are bases. They react with excess acid in the stomach and neutralize them. So antacids or bases react with excess acid in the stomach. React with the excess acid in the stomach and neutralize it. So neutralization reaction takes place in our stomach. So what is neutralization reaction? Already you have gone through that one. Acids react with bases to form salt and water. So common examples of antacids. You know, milk of magnesia. Antacid example, milk of magnesia. Very important for CBSE board, MGOH twice. Already you know this. And other one is baking soda. It is also an antacid. Sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. That is nothing but baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate. So compulsory, students, if the food is get to be digested properly, what you have to remember is pH in our digestive system, the dilute HCl should be 1.4. If the pH range is changed, means still 1 pH means that creates acidity in the stomach. So in order to avoid that, we use some antacids. Antacids are bases. They react with excess acid in the stomach and neutralize it. So examples of antacids: milk of magnesia, MgOH twice, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. So this is the importance of pH in our digestive system. And the next one is very important daily habit: pH change as the cause of tooth decay. So many people, they are suffering from this problem. pH change as a cause of tooth decay. See, generally bacteria present in our mouth, break down the sugar into acids. See, generally if we eat any sweets, any food, definitely it is nothing but sugar. So bacteria present in the mouth will break that sugar into acids. And acids formed lower the pH in the mouth. So the total mouth becomes acidic, and even bad smell will come in the morning time. So if the sugar, so during this process, it's nothing but here bacteria present in the mouth break down the sugar into acids. So our mouth, by morning time, the mouth becomes acidic. So that's why these acids lower the pH value in the mouth. So actually, tooth decay starts when the pH of the acid formed in the mouth falls below 5.5. If the pH value of acid is less than 5.5, what happens, students? Tooth decay happen. So how this tooth decay takes place here? See, generally, tooth enamel, our teeth is made up of, tooth enamel of our teeth is made up of tooth enamel. A layer is there. That layer is made up of a compound called calcium phosphate. So this is present even in bones also. Our teeth is strong mainly if the composition of this calcium phosphate is more. Teeth is strong. Bones are also very strong if the composition is more. See here, tooth enamel of our teeth is made up of a hardest substance. What is that substance? Calcium phosphate. See what happens when you don't maintain proper pH range. If the pH value of an acid in our mouth falls below 5.5, so that acid attacks this calcium phosphate. Acids attack tooth enamel and it gets corroded when the pH in the mouth is less than 5.5. So if the pH in the mouth is less than 5.5, immediately what happens? The acids, excess acids present in the mouth will immediately attack the tooth enamel and they destroy this enamel layer. So in order to avoid that, if you go for dentist, he will recommend some toothpaste, medicated toothpaste. So generally, toothpaste pH value is approximately 8, that is basic. Toothpaste is a base, right? Simply you can say toothpaste is having pH value approximately 8. So that means this toothpaste acts as bases. So morning time, why do we do brush every morning? In order to avoid that foul smell. Foul smell means here excess acid is released in our mouth that creates bad odor. So immediately what we are doing in the morning, by using certain medicated paste, we are doing the brush. So immediately what happens? By using base, you are neutralizing the acids present in the mouth. So acids react with bases to form salt and water. So that's why in many ads also you can see, is there any salt in the toothpaste, like that you can see many ads. So that is the importance here, as their neutralization reaction takes place. Toothpaste acts as a base. So this base interacts with excess acid present in the mouth. Immediately neutralization reaction takes place. We wash with fresh water. So that's why after eating food we have to thoroughly wash the teeth with fresh water, because if anything is there acid, that gets diluted and the pH, normal pH will be maintained in the mouth. So that's why we have to daily wash the teeth. So that is the importance of pH. So if pH value is less than 5.5, tooth decay, we can enjoy the tooth decay, right? Next importance of pH, that is soil pH. That is also very important for farmers. Soil pH and plants growth. So it's very, very important here. pH should be maintained. Most of the plants grow best when the pH of the soil is nearer to 7. There in that soil, plants will have healthy growth. So they experience healthy growth when the pH of the soil is nearer to 7. See, if the soil is too acidic or basic, it will affect the growth of plants. Soil should not be too much acidic, soil should not be too much basic. Definitely that will affect the growth of plants. So proper pH range must be maintained by the soil. Suppose, see, how can we change the pH of that soil? See, in Kisan, farmers will have one advising committee, Kisan Yojana. See, the farmer, he has to, before cultivating any crops, he has to take the soil sample to the laboratory, so for testing purpose. So if the pH of the soil is acidic, if it was found to be acidic, then that experts will advise to mix certain fertilizers. They have to mix in the soil, so that certain fertilizers must be mixed in the soil in order to make it nearer to 7. So why? Because these fertilizers must be base. So what are the fertilizers which we use here for treating acidic soil? Calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate. So these chemicals are mixed in the soil so that the pH of the soil, in order to convert acidic soil into neutral soil, so we have to mix certain basic fertilizers to the soil. So pH of the soil is acidic means if the soil is acidic, certain fertilizers should be mixed into that through that soil, and we have to be careful that pH of the soil should come nearer to 7. So suppose if the pH of the soil is basic, so then what we have to do? We have to mix certain fertilizers which are acidic. Acidic fertilizers must be mixed before cultivation. If the pH of the soil was found to be basic, we have to mix acidic fertilizers, so in order to reduce the excess basic nature, such that pH value should be nearer to the 7. So basing on that, we can easily predict what crops are suggestible for acidic soil, what crops are suggestible for basic soil. So pH has got a lot of importance for the farmers for cultivation purpose. So how to test the pH of the sample? See, take a test tube, add that soil plus hot water, just add, so filter that, and finally after filtrate you take. Filtrate means liquid. That filtrate you have to take and dip universal indicator. By the use of universal indicator must be, you have to place universal indicator in a test tube containing liquid filtrate, so that universal indicator will show the color change. So from that color change, you can easily predict the pH range of your soil. Very easy test. With the help of universal indicator, we can predict the pH value of the soil. So basing on the pH value, we can go for further suggestions, right? And the same time, next important is pH change and survival of animals. pH change and survival of animals. pH change and survival of animals. So how? See, actually our body works well. Our human body works well in the pH range 7 to 7.8. Human blood has got pH value 7.4. So our human body works well if the pH is in between 7 to 7.8. So at the same time, pH value of rainwater, rainwater, if the pH value of rainwater is 5.6, pure water is 7, pH value of rainwater is 5.6. See, acid rains, generally you already know the term of acid rain. These acid rains are formed mainly due to when rain interacts with non-metallic oxides like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So this acid, pure water interacts with these acids present in these oxides, gases present in the atmosphere, and they turn into acid rain. So acid rains lower the pH of river water. Remember that whenever the acid rain takes place, it enters into the river water, and survival of aquatic species become difficult. That is important. If more percentage of dissolved oxygen is present in the water, then aquatic species will have good life in that one. Suppose this rainwater, this acid rain mixed with the river water, definitely the pH value of river water decreases, and if the pH value of river water decreases, aquatic species will have to lead a very bad life, right? Because of insufficient supply of oxygen. So high acidity of river water can even kill the aquatic animals. That is a conclusion. And even students, the atmosphere, this pH value will also affect the atmosphere also. So generally the planets, Venus planet, the atmosphere of Venus planet. See, this Venus planet is made up of thick white yellowish clouds. Venus planet is made up of thick white yellowish clouds of sulfuric acid. So if you observe the Venus planet, it is covered with a thick white dense yellowish clouds of sulfuric acid. So life can't exist on Venus planet because pH value is very, very less. So that means life will not exist on Venus planet because of low pH value. Next, how can we give some examples in case of animals? Here already you know honeybee. You know honeybee stings. So if honeybee stings a person, if honeybee stings a person, what happens? It injects acidic liquid in the skin which causes immense pain and irritation. So this honeybee stings, they release one acid. So whenever the acid enters our skin, you are going to observe immense pain and irritation. So immediately what you have to do, that means honeybee stings, it releases certain acid on the skin. So in order to avoid that effect, in order to get relief from that pain, what you have to do is you have to rub that skin with baking soda. Baking soda. Why? Because baking soda is a base, right? So on suppose if you rub the skin with baking soda, immediately the excess acid present on the skin interacts with this base. So neutralization reaction takes place on the stung area of the skin. So it gives relief. So this is the best example for neutralization reaction. Generally, you know honeybee sting. So if it stings us, an acid is injected by it. So that acid causes immense pain, that painful sensation. Immediately, if you don't take any remedy, it will swell. So immediately you have to rub that upper surface of the skin with the baking soda. Any base you can take, not only this. So what happens? Neutralization reaction takes place and we will get remedy. In the same manner, there is another insect, wasp sting. Other one, wasp sting. So it also injects an alkaline liquid. Alkaline liquid means basic. So this wasp sting injects a base on our skin. So immediately what you have to do? See, honeybee injects, it releases acid. So we have to rub with baking soda. So wasp sting is other category. It releases alkaline liquid in our body, into our skin. So immediately you have to rub. Then immediately you have to rub with, if it is a base means you have to rub with acid. You have to rub with vinegar. So again vinegar interacts with that alkaline base, that liquid, and immediately neutralization reactions takes place on the skin. So this is also other example. You know already red ant. One more example, red ant head. You know red ant's head. It is filled with formic acid, right? HCOOH. What is this acid called? Formic acid. And other name for this is methanoic acid. So red ant sting. So if it stings, it releases formic acid or methanoic acid. Immediately, how to get remedy? Rub with sodium bicarbonate. Rub with sodium bicarbonate. So, and there is even this is about wild. This is about some insects. But at the same time, there is a plant, nettle. I think you know biology students, nettle. It is a wild. Nettle is a wild herbaceous plant. It's a wild herbaceous plant found in jungles. So this, suppose if the person touches that nettle leaves, see these nettle leaves, it has got some hair on it. The stinging hair of nettle leaves inject methanoic acid into the skin of a person, causing burning pain, right? So this plant has got certain hair, and suppose if the stinging hair of nettle leaves this, from this hair, what acid is released? Methanoic acid is released, and this methanoic acid causes burning sensation. So immediately you have to use, in order to avoid the burning sensation of methanoic acid, you have to rub with sodium bicarbonate or rub with dock plant. This is also dock plant. It contains base. Dock plant contains base. It interacts with this acid, and these all are examples of neutralization reactions. All these are examples of neutralization reactions. Very important, students. Here maybe CBSE board na many application questions will come. So honeybee stings release an acid. So we have to clean it with baking soda. Wasp sting releases basic solution, and you have to rub with vinegar. Red ant releases formic acid or methanoic acid. Rub with sodium bicarbonate. Nettle, herbaceous plant, hair contains methanoic acid. So immediately, in order to get relief, rub with sodium bicarbonate or rub with dock plant. What is this? Dock plant contains base. So in all these examples, what is the fundamental principle involved is neutralization reaction. So what is meant by a neutralization reaction? Acid reacts with bases to form salt and water. This is an example of neutralization reaction. So I think you understood, students. This is the importance of pH value. Now coming to the point of salts. Next topic, salts. How a salt is formed? So we can predict by using this. Acid plus base gives rise to, now only we have discussed what is the salt, NaCl plus H2O. So acid plus base, acid reacts with base to form salt and water. So here NaCl is a salt. So here like this we can take many examples. Generally salts are formed when acids react with bases, salts are formed. Suppose if HCl is there, what type of salts it will form? HCl forms chloride salts, right? H2SO4 forms sulfate salts. What type of salts it will form? If this acids are treated with bases, suppose if you treat with base, so what type of salts are formed? Chlorides. With sulfuric acids, sulfates are formed. With nitric acid, HNO3, nitrates are formed, right? With carbonic acid, what type of salts are formed? Carbonates. With acetic acid, what type of salts are formed? Acetates. So like this, when an acid reacts with base to form salt and water. So here, suppose if you treat HCl with base, chloride salts are formed. Sulfuric acid forms sulfate salts. Nitric acid forms nitrates. Carbonic acid forms carbonates. Acetic acid forms acetates. So generally most of the salts are, they are solids. Most of the salts are solids, and they have high melting points and boiling points. They have high melting points and boiling points, and they are usually soluble in water. And most of the salts are ionic compounds. Most of the salts are ionic compounds. So here we are going to classify the salts. Classification of salts. How these salts are classified? See here, on the basis of chemical formula, see, these salts are classified into three types. So what are the three types of salts? Normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt. On the basis of chemical formula, salts are classified into three types: normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt. So we are discussing about normal salt. What is this normal salt? So it is a one which doesn't contain any ionizable hydrogen atom or hydroxyl group.